Imagine waking up one day, your body shaking in agony. You glance at the calendar and think, it's just my period, back with a vengeance. You take some paracetamol, force yourself to push through the pain and head to work. But just hours later, you're not in the office. You're in a hospital, holding a newborn baby you didn't even know existed. This isn't a scene from a movie. This is the true story of Klara Dollan. Klara was 22 years old and about to start her new job, a fresh chapter in her life. It was a day she had been anticipating for weeks. She had recently stopped taking the pill after 6 months of continuous use, and the stomach cramps she woke up with that morning felt like an unwelcome but familiar guest. Her period. The pain was intense. It left her pale and shaking, her body struggling to keep up. But Klara, determined not to call in sick on her first day, decided to push through. Taking her mother's advice, she popped some paracetamol, grabbed her bag, and made her way out the door. The journey from her home in Cricklewood to central London was excruciating. Every bump on the bus and every jolt of the tube felt like a hammer to her stomach. She clung to the railings, trying to appear normal, but inside, she was crumbling. Klara later admitted that she didn't think much of it at the time, just bad timing, she thought. Little did she know, her life was about to change forever. By mid-morning, it was clear something was very wrong. Klara was visibly unwell, and the pain had become unbearable. Her boss noticed and insisted she go home to rest. The young woman left the office, relieved to be heading back to the comfort of her own space, but unaware that she was walking straight into the most shocking moment of her life. Back at her flat, Klara collapsed onto her bed, hoping the painkillers would kick in. But instead of relief, the pain only intensified. It wasn't long before she felt an overwhelming urge to go to the bathroom. She barely made it there before her body took over completely. The waves of pain became rhythmic, and her instincts kicked in, though she didn't understand what was happening. Then, in one surreal, life-altering moment, she saw it, a head coming out of her body. That day alone in her bathroom, she gave birth to a baby girl. Her screams echoed through the building, and thankfully, a concerned neighbor heard them. Within minutes, paramedics were at her door, rushing both Klara and her newborn to Hampstead's Royal Free Hospital. When Klara called her mother to tell her what had happened, her response was disbelief. Klara's story seems impossible, doesn't it? How could someone carry a baby to term without knowing they were pregnant? But this phenomenon is more common than you might think. It's called cryptic pregnancy, a condition where women are unaware of their pregnancy until labor begins. According to a 2002 study, cryptic pregnancies occur in about 1 in every 2,500 pregnancies, roughly 320 cases each year in the UK alone. Looking back, Klara started to connect the dots, pieces of a puzzle she didn't even know existed. For months, she had noticed small changes in her body but dismissed them entirely. She'd gained a little weight, but in her mind, it was just the fallout of a stressful breakup with her boyfriend, the familiar indulgence in some comfort food after a tough split. There were no obvious signs, no morning sickness to send up red flags, no odd cravings to make her pause and wonder. Even the telltale sign most people associate with pregnancy, a baby's kicks, was absent. She felt nothing unusual, nothing to make her even consider she might be carrying a child. And as for her period, Klara was used to irregular cycles. Missing 1 or 2 was something she'd experienced before, so it didn't seem like anything out of the ordinary. It wasn't just her body that kept her in the dark. It was her mind, too. Experts often describe cryptic pregnancy as a mix of subtle physical symptoms and psychological factors. For Klara, life was already busy and stressful, and her mind simply didn't entertain the idea of pregnancy as a possibility. But here's the thing. Even when symptoms are subtle or non-existent, the human mind can sometimes block out what it doesn't want to confront. Experts believe cryptic pregnancies are a mix of physical and psychological factors, which makes them even harder to detect. When Klara shared her story publicly, the reactions were mixed. Some were amazed, but others were skeptical. People asked her, "How could you not know?" Some even questioned her honesty. But Klara's experience isn't unique. Around the world, countless women have gone through cryptic pregnancies. And almost every time, society responds with disbelief and judgment. For Klara, the truth was undeniable. She hadn't known she was pregnant. And the proof of her story? A healthy, happy baby girl named Amelia. Amelia is now a lively, energetic child, full of personality. Klara calls her a miracle. After all, during her pregnancy, Klara had been working grueling 12-hour shifts as a bar manager, lifting heavy crates, running up and down stairs, living life as if nothing had changed. But in just one moment, everything did change. "I had no time to prepare," Klara said. "Most parents have 9 months. I had seconds." Cryptic pregnancies may be rare, but they teach us something profound about the body and mind. They remind us of how much we still don't understand about ourselves and highlight the importance of compassion over judgment. Because for Klara, what started as just another painful morning turned into the beginning of a beautiful, unexpected journey. If this story shocked you or opened your mind, let us know in the comments below. What would you do if this happened to you or someone you knew? And don't forget to hit subscribe for more incredible stories just like this one.